have to get your head higher so that you're in the shot. Maybe if I can angle it down so I can see you a little better. No? Don't drink my coffee. That's my coffee. Hello there. I'm still looking off to the left and I've put my phone the other direction and I think it's gonna mess me up, but let's do it anyway. Hello friends. Well, today we are going to be talking about our second cat named Artemis. That's right, our cats are named Luna and Artemis. Artemis is in fact a boy cat despite being named Artemis because he's named after the cat from Sailor Moon. Well, technically they both are. Yes, we are those nerds. Did I say that in my Luna video? I feel like I made that joke already. For this video, you're probably going to be mostly getting Artemis's back and tail. So Artemis is 4. Could you put your butt down, please? Hopefully you can hear him purring. He's just down here laying in front of me, like squeezing my hand. He does that. So Artemis is our little kitty that we adopted from the SPCA in San Francisco. We got him because we'd had Luna for about 2 years, and because Kylie and I, you know, we both worked and we left the house all day, we were kind of feeling or worried that Luna was lonely when we weren't there. When we would come home, she would just meow at us a whole bunch and want a lot of attention. She's always been super vocal. So we were worried that she was lonely and had been considering getting another cat or possibly a kitten. I kind of felt like we should get a kitten because I felt like that gave us the best chance of having them, you know, acclimate to each other and like each other, as opposed to bringing in a full-grown cat and have Luna feel like her territory was being invaded and not comfortable with this other cat, and them just hate each other and fight and it'd just be a terrible experience. And that's, you know, that's not what I wanted. You know, when I adopt a pet, it's for life. So we'd been thinking about it for a while, and then there was a Clear the Shelters event at the SPCA. If you've never been to one of those, it is where a shelter will waive the adoption fee of most pets. So we went in, and I had wanted to go earlier in the day because I felt like there would be more kittens or more cats to look at, and it would give us a better chance of finding someone that we felt like we connected with and wanted to bring home. But we actually didn't end up going until the afternoon. Hi! We did a couple rooms of kittens, and there was one room where, you know, they were cute, but like didn't feel connected to any of them. I think the one kitten that I kind of liked in that room was already getting adopted, and there was another room of kittens where they had literally just been brought in and they were terrified. Why is your butt here? Why is your butt in my face? Do not drink my coffee. Stop it. What? Oh my gosh. So Artemis was the last kitten that we looked at, and he was in a room all by himself. So we went in and he was actually hiding under one of those scratch toy kind of things, but it was like domed so he could be under it, especially because he was so little. So he was hiding, and we went in and I lifted it up off him and he looked up at me, and I tried to pick him up, tried to pet him. He did not want to be held. So he immediately, you know, like pushed and jumped to get down. I think I put him in my lap and he like jumped down. But when I pet him, he just immediately started purring. And I think that's kind of what like grabbed me about him was, you know, even though he was kind of scared, he was just very loving. This is what he does. He just wants attention all the time. So if you've ever adopted a pet from a shelter, you may have seen outside of the little areas, the rooms, or wherever, you know, they happen to be, the kennels, whatever they're in, there's usually like a piece of paper that has like their name and their age and their gender and just a little bit of info about them. I remember reading his. It probably said that he was very shy. And so we went, you know, to the people and we said, hey, we like this kitten and we think we'd like to take him home. We'd like to adopt him. So before we could take him home, you know, they had to sort of sit down with us and talk about, you know, have you had a cat before? Do you know how to take care of them? Where do you live? Are you allowed to have pets? They ask a lot of questions just to make sure that, you know, the animal is going to be well taken care of, that the people are, you know, knowledgeable about what they're doing, and also not have a situation as best as they can where the animal is going to be returned to the shelter. Why are you so cute? You're making this so hard. They asked us a whole bunch of questions, and you know, we showed them like the pet agreement that we had, told them about our history taking care of pets. I've had cats literally my entire life, and we already had a cat. And then they talked to us a little bit about Artemis specifically. His name at the time was Osprey. There must have been like a group of kittens that they decided to name after like birds or something. That's the only thing I can figure. But they told us that he was very scared and that he was under-socialized, so that was probably a thing that we were gonna have to work with him on, and I was totally fine with that. When we picked him out and we were taking him home, we were under the assumption that he was gonna be this sort of introverted cat, that he might, you know, hide a lot, and that was okay because we had Luna too, and maybe that would help their relationship if he was calm. Yeah, if he kind of kept out of her way, maybe they would be able to have a better relationship, since we didn't know quite how she was going to react to this other cat. So we took him home. I took him home in a little cardboard box carrier, and I rode the bus with him. And we got him home, and I put him in the bathroom first thing, and, you know, turned the box over and opened it so that he had a place to hide, but he could come out and look around and sniff around if he wanted to, put some like water and some food out for him. And so yeah, for the first night he just kind of hung out in the bathroom. Luna was very suspicious. She's never liked closed doors. What was that, Luna? You can't go in the bathroom. No. You can't go in there. Luna does not know what to make of this new kid. The next day we put him in a different room. So our apartment in San Francisco was really weird. It was kind of divided up into these two sides. And we had like some French doors that were between what was sort of effectively a dining room and next to the kitchen, and that's what eventually became my office there. So between that and the living room. And then there was an open doorway that went around, like, you know, to the bathroom and the bedroom, and you could get around to the living room. But we had some window screens, so we just kind of stacked those with some things against them so that they wouldn't fall over. So that he would have more room to kind of run around and play if he wanted to, or explore whatever he wanted to do. I remember that second day with him, he had clearly acclimated. He was, you know, bouncing around and jumping around and playing and meowing and squeaking at us. And, you know, just from being in our house overnight, had kind of turned into a completely different cat. We let Luna sort of like nearby him. But she could see him through the screen and sniff at him. She did not end up appreciating that we brought this kitten into our life. He was like a little interloper. She was definitely curious about him at first, but, you know, as I talked about in my video about Luna, she is very sensitive, and he wanted to like sniff her and come near her. And as a kitten, he wanted to play with her, and she wanted nothing to do with that. So she kind of ended up hating. But Artemis is just the sweetest cat in the world, and he has some very like dog-like qualities, we like to say. He plays fetch with specific toys, not with everything, but yeah, there are certain things I can throw and he will run and he will chase them and bring them back to me. I can call his name from across the house and he will come running for pets and cuddles. He's just, I mean, like, I'm just sitting here petting him this entire time, which is why he's not like in the shot. But he just wants loves and cuddles and pets constantly. He's always like rubbing on us and, you know, with his face to try to get us to pet him. He will like knock our phones out of our hands. He's also that cat that likes to knock things off of shelves. But what's so funny to us is he is so sweet and loving, And he was actually adopted before we met him and returned by whoever it was, and we just cannot understand why. The only thing I can figure is that whoever took him home expected him to be a certain way because he's a kitten, and it just wasn't the right environment for him, so he could never really come out of his shell. When he's stressed, he kind of just shuts off. So when we were moving, and even if we have to take him to the vet and we put him in the carrier, he just kind of shuts down. He doesn't move around a whole lot. He doesn't make any noise. He just kind of waits for whatever it is to be over. It's so sad because you just want to like take care of him. And he used to be really scared of a lot of things, even though, you know, at home with us, he's sort of like, you know, I'm so brave, I can do whatever I want to because I'm comfortable. If someone came into our house, he would run and hide. His go-to hiding place was our bathtub. Although his like happy place where he would sit was in our sink. There were lots of times where I would just like walk towards the bathroom and he would run and he would jump in the sink. It was so irritating because I would just want to wash my hands and he'd be like, yeah, let's hang out in the bathroom, woo! He also drools, like when he's happy. He'll lay on us and just like little, not all the time, but sometimes little streams of drool will like dribble down, and it's so gross. Any loud noises would scare him. I do remember specifically one time we had window washers and he did not like them. That was very scary. And then there was also one time, so stupid, there was one time we thought that he got out. What had happened was one of us had come in or out of our apartment and the front door hadn't shut all the way. You know, when something like that happens, you're like, oh crap, where are all our pets? Found Luna straight away. Looked around the entire apartment and we could not find Artemis. Looked in all of the usual spots, under everything, behind everything that we could possibly think of where he was, and we could not find him, and I started to panic. So we went out in the hallway, we went up and down our hall, we went up to every floor and down to every floor. We checked in the garage, we checked everywhere, and we just could not find this cat, and I was so upset because I don't even remember how long we were looking for this cat, like an hour or something, and we told some of the neighbors like, hey, we think our cat got out. And we had this like cat tree in our apartment off in a corner, and it had on the bottom, going up to one of the levels, there was this little, I guess, ladder. It was like a solid piece, but it had like little, you know, raised bits in it that sort of made it like a ladder. And Kylie saw his little head peek out from behind it. That sort of became his hiding place for a while until we got rid of that cat tree. Did we get rid of it when we moved? I think that's what happened. But yeah, that's the story of my cat being scared of the door being open. He's so cute and sweet. He's got a little rainbow collar. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about him. He's really good. He's really sweet.
Can you say goodbye? Do you see the little dot on the ceiling from the sun reflecting off my phone and you want to kill it? Yeah, that's what's going on. Okay. Say bye, Artemis.